Hey folks, how you all doing? So Lynn and I are in the process at the moment of rearranging all of the compact discs and vinyl records, and it's absolute mammoth task to do. But in the process, we ended up finding, well, I found around 20 Barbra Streisand albums. So these albums aren't mine. I'm not a fan of Barbra Streisand, to be honest with you. I think she's a cool actress. Don't get me wrong. I think she's a really cool actress. Could probably name all the songs of hers I like on two hands, and that's over a 60-year career. So I'm not really a fan of Barbra Streisand, whereas Lynne is. Anyway, I've got all her albums, and they're all in chronological release order. So I thought I'd show them and see if there's some sort of interest in the VC for Barbra Streisand. I mean, she does have a great voice and everything. I'm just not a fan of her style, so that's why I'm not a fan. So to start off with, I'm not going to name which studio album, like the number of studio album release that I'm showing, except for the first one. This is her fourth studio album. This was released in 1964, and it's called People. There you go. I won't show all the labels neither, but I'll show a couple of them here and there. On CBS. Next up, also from 1964, we have the Funny Girl soundtrack. As you know, Barbara's she's been a stage actress and a movie actress as well, so it's not surprising that you have a few soundtracks in a collection. Next up, we're up to 1965. My Name is Barbara. I might show this one if it's slightly different, which it's not. That's fine. Next up, we're in 1964 again with My Name is Barbara 2. Isn't that a gorgeous album cover? Fantastic. I'll show this one. Just show you, this one's a bit scratched actually, but it still plays surprisingly. They just seem to be a bit surface scratches than actual scratches to detract from the listening pleasure of an album. 1969 now. What about today? So Barbara's released around 45, maybe 50 studio albums in her career. So technically we've got around half of them, I guess, just under half. They've got a compilation here, 1970, Greatest Hits. A lot of people don't really, I guess, remember much of Barbra Streisand before the A Star Is Born soundtrack, or even the Guilty album, for example, from the late 70s, early 80s. But to have a Greatest Hits in 1970, it just shows you how long she has been around and how long she had been around at that stage to do that. 1971 now with Stony End. See if this is the same label. Yet it's the same looking label. 1972, Live at the Forum. Focusing on those tracks there, I don't really know. 1974, The Way We Were. So we're up to 1975 now. My Funny Lady, which is another soundtrack album. different label. This is on it's in a paper sleeve there, but there you go, it's on the Arista label. I knew there was a couple that weren't the CBS label. 1975. Well, it's another soundtrack album from the movie A Star Is Born, starring the brilliant Chris Christopherson, who's also another great actor, and of course singer-songwriter, and Barbra. That movie was remade a couple of years ago with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga playing the lead roles. Uh, 1977, Superman. I wonder if she regrets this sort of album cover now. Be interesting to know. It's actually decent. Oh, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing on the inner sleeve. Same pictures there. Label the same. That's on the more modern CBS label, that one. And of course there is a lyric sheet in this one as well. Feel free to pause anytime you want. This one's where cover is really damaged. I would say Lynne probably got this from a second-hand store or something like that. With this one, it's Songbird, so we'll be on the lookout for another copy of Songbird at some point, so at least we can get a decent cover. This one was released in 1978. Next up, 1978 again, we have Greatest Hits Volume 2. That's a lovely album cover, that one. That's really nice. Next up, 1979's Wet. I think I will end up listening to all these albums, because you never know when you're going to listen to something that you really like by an artist that you're not really keen on or don't like. So who knows, there may be a couple of these albums in here that I really love but don't know it yet. Next up, 1980. This is the album that most people would have in their careers. It's Guilty. I think most songs on here were written by Barry Gibb, weren't they, from memory? Mega album, sold, I don't know, I think it was close to 20 million copies worldwide, which was a hell of a lot of copies back then. Oops. There you go. Next up, 1980 again. Sorry. Emotion. That's not there. I forget this one. 1984. This is a compilation. Emotion. No, it's not. That's a studio album. Sorry, my bad. 1984 studio album. Emotion. bit out of order here because this one probably should have gone first. 1981 Memories, which is a compilation album. Another gorgeous album cover. Should be quite photogenic at times. I'll get that out. You can look at the tracks there and pause it if you want. Inner sleeve in here. And the final album is 1985's Broadway album. So there you go, folks. That is 20 albums over spanning a period of 21 years from Barbra Streisand. Let me know in the comment section below. Are you a fan of Barbra? Or are you like me, sort of not really? But yeah, I thought I would just put that out there just to see if, you know, people are interested in Barbra Streisand in the VC. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care. All for now. Catch you around, and bye, folks.